Hi there, my name's Steve Brine. I'm the Estates Manager for Hallmark Care Homes. I've been with Hallmark now for around 5 years, and I've worked my way up from a regional maintenance position to Estates Manager. My day-to-day is running 20 homes across the site. We've got England and Wales, and I look from everything from the aerial on the top of the roof all the way down to the foundations and everything in between. The main challenge was visibility. Something that, to be fair, as an estates manager before we had the relationship with FaultFixers, was I didn't have the visibility of what was going on in each individual home. In order for me to actually do what I needed to do was visit every home, and that obviously covering England and Wales was quite a journey. So it means getting in the car, getting up at X o'clock in the morning, driving, and then actually sitting down, taking time out of the maintenance operatives' time to figure out what was going on. And to be honest with you, it was very, very time consuming. The limited time you had on site to discuss it with the MO, and obviously they've still got their job to do. Sorry, maintenance operative MO. And it was visibility. It's the biggest challenge I've faced since moving into the position at Hallmark as Estates Manager. It was basically a paper book. It was a file logged at the reception, and we were asking people to come off the communities, walk down to reception, open up a folder and log the faults. What we found was, unfortunately, that a lot of the reports were, as they were handwritten, some of the writing was illegible, so we couldn't actually read where or what the problem was. And during COVID as well, the biggest problem we faced was cross-contamination. So having a nurse or a care assistant walking from a community through the home was completely stopped. So reporting was complicated. We had to use mobile phones. Information got lost. So it was paper-based. And I said during COVID it had to change, and this was the main driving force into finding how we could digitise it. Really, it comes back to the visibility side, but to work out, I suppose, the R&Rs and the CapEx, I get very heavily involved with the financial side of it. Not being able to view what was going on inside the home, my repairs and renewals at the end of the year was very, very complicated to actually get together. So originally, before COVID, the whole idea to digitise the process was to give me the visibility to enable to budget correctly for end of year and the start of next year. So it really was driven by the financial side of it originally. I'm wearing my Care Accelerator badge here. Innovation is something that drives the business, because without it, as my wonderful illustrious leader says to me, if you're not going forward, you're going backwards. So we have to drive, and innovation is the only way we can thrive. The data side of it was very limited. Being obviously on the paper side of it, it was you'd go through the book and just work out roughly what was going on. What the ability I have now with FaultFixers, and I do on a regular basis, is I open up the page first thing in the morning. It's almost like my go-to. What's going on in the homes? What happened yesterday? I can look at how things have been progressing. I can add narrative to situations. And from my point of view, which is incredibly valuable, is I can now offer advice to the team about how someone else fixed something in another building very, very quickly. So the data I've got and that I'm using now, honestly, I don't know how we were doing and how we were efficient without it. It's the ability for me to add the comments and see what's going on. To be honest with you, from all the financial benefit, I've already been able to stop progressive reoccurring incidents from happening. So from a financial side, we've already seen a benefit. I've had nothing but good words. They've all said that it's the most useful tool they've ever had, to be able to have that information available with them. They can make split decisions on the floor where before they'd have to physically go back to reception, look at the book and see if there was an issue that was relating to, say, a high level priority problem. Now it comes through on their mobile device, it's instant, they can look at it, it's the reaction time. It's done something for them that they never had. So that's the main feedback I'll get from them. With the GMs, I've got a meeting coming up. I hope to get as good feedback, but I've only spoke to one GM and she's already said that she's found it incredibly useful. Again, it's her go-to in the morning. She'd open up, see what was going on in the home, and then crack on with her day. So, yeah, it's just a useful tool. It's as handy as a hammer. So with regards to the CQC, when they enter the building, they currently will ask for all the files, and we have a paper-based system that obviously is presented to them, and they spend a lot of time sifting through information. The maintenance team do get a very good opportunity to sit down with any inspector when they come through the homes, and to be able to offer them information at an instant, a certain time or a certain date, could all be now recalled without trawling through tons and tons of paperwork. Without a doubt, yes. When I first looked through various pieces of software, I actually gravitated towards FaultFixers for that very reason. I'm very technical minded, don't get me wrong, but I had to look at something that I could offer the whole group. And not everyone is as talented on the computer side as some other people. So the reason I did pick FaultFixers was it is almost a set and forget bit of software. Once you know how to do it, it's impossible to unlearn. To be honest with you, I thought it was going to be a little bit complicated. I know, like I said, the system is simplified, but to get everybody on board, I suppose it's the buy-in from the team is always going to be complicated. To be honest with you, it's sailed through. We started off in one of our biggest homes, Greenhill Manor. It's 119 beds, and it's a vast home set on a large footprint. The team took to it like a duck to water. It was again, it just points towards how simple the system is to use for the care team. Once the device is set up, it's a simple 30-40 seconds. All the information has then been sent with a picture straight to the maintenance operative. Incredibly simple, and we've had no problems rolling it out at all whatsoever. I suppose the biggest benefit, I know I touched on it before, was the cross-contamination side, having someone to travel through the home in order to log a report. But it now gives us, and gives me and the regional team, the chance to assist the home. So whereby we would normally bring an outside contractor straight away, and it's another person coming into the home with potential COVID that could spread to obviously our team and residents, we can now stop that from happening. We can then add information to the ticket and perhaps assist the team over the phone in order to get that repair done. So it prevents or limits the amount of people that are actually coming into the home. So there's a couple of exciting points for me at the moment. We haven't pressed the button yet, but the idea of planned preventative maintenance in FaultFixers for Hallmark is something that we're looking forward to. There's a lot of tasks that the maintenance operatives at the moment currently are not automised, and what we have to do is we have to rely on them, as their schedule's incredibly busy, to remember to do certain tasks. With FaultFixers now, this is going to be a thing of the past with alerts and reminders. And I suppose the next level for me would be family engagement. We're able to generate a QR code in the room that will allow a family member to visit the home, see their loved ones' areas, and if there is a problem, they can report it themselves. And what I think is an exceptional feature actually is the ability for that family member then to comment on a particular fault within the room and rate the repair after it's been done. So we can not only track the progress and how happy the families are that their loved ones are being looked after, but we could also get their feedback on how they think the repair went. So it's something that I'm incredibly excited about, and I know Hallmark are fully behind it, and we're really looking forward to rolling that out as well. I like that. To be honest with you, without a doubt, it really is. And I suppose for me, again, I touched on this. It's the simplicity of it all. It's just absolute. it's almost genius. don't want to big up FaultFixers too much here, but honestly, it's the way it's put together, and it's so easy for the care team, for the maintenance operatives, for the GMs, and for an estates manager. It does everything that I need it to do, and more. So to be honest with you, I would highly recommend FaultFixers.